Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 36. I'm your host and Perrysburg resident, Kim Newlove. Today's episode is an interview with Brittinee Huntley about Downtown Perrysburg Inc. and the Total Eclipse of the Burg. If you are new to this podcast, welcome. The Perrysburg Podcast is an informational podcast for prospective, new, and current Perrysburg, Ohio residents. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. You can find the show notes for this episode on perrysburgpodcast.com. If you're listening today because you're visiting the Burg, as we call it, for the Total Eclipse of the Burg event, which is on April 6th, or the eclipse itself on April 8th, 2024, of course, welcome to Perrysburg. I hope this episode helps. I always say that the best time to be on a podcast is when you have something to promote. Brittinee Huntley is doing it right because this episode will be released on Friday, March 29th, and Perrysburg's expecting a lot of visitors in about a week for the Total Eclipse of the Burg event on Saturday, April 6th, and the Total Eclipse on Monday, April 8th. If you post pictures to social media, either of the event on April 6th or the eclipse on April 8th, please include the hashtag TEOB, which stands for Total Eclipse of the Burg, and I would love to see your pictures. What if you miss the event and the eclipse and you find this podcast episode after April 8th? Well, you can search the hashtag TEOB on Facebook and Instagram, and you should find pictures there. At this time, I'll read a short introduction about my guest, Brittinee Huntley, then I'll roll the interview. As the current president of the board of directors for Downtown Perrysburg Inc., Brittinee Huntley knows the importance of bringing up a family in a strong community. Born and raised in Northwest Ohio, attending St. Ursula Academy for high school, and then graduating from the University of Toledo in 2003, Brittinee is a happily married mother of two girls, ages 11 and 14. While she has been in the event industry since she was 16, her passion is marketing and creating brands that communities recognize and respect. You may know some of the events that she's chaired, such as Winterfest, Zip the Burg, Rock the Docks, and Breakfast with the Bunny. That ends the introduction. Now, here's my conversation with Brittinee Huntley. Hi, Brittinee. Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We are doing an in-person podcast interview at my house. Brittinee, how does it feel to be on the Perrysburg Podcast?
It's fancy.
No, it's great to have you here. We're going to talk about Downtown Perrysburg Inc. today.
That's exciting for me because I love to talk about Downtown Perrysburg Inc.
How are you connected to Downtown Perrysburg Inc.?
Well, currently, I am the board president of Downtown Perrysburg Inc., but I actually have always, in some way, been part of Downtown Perrysburg Inc. The organization started back in the early 2000s, and a bunch of the business owners in Downtown Perrysburg got together and said, there's nothing going on down here in February. And they threw a Winterfest, and they all got together. A tent was put up in the middle of the street. Ice sculptures came out from all of the crevasses, and a national ice carving competition was had, and we got national attention, and it just grew from there. And an organization was born, and then eventually it became Downtown Perrysburg Inc. And now you know us as the Winterfest organization, but we have a lot of other things that we do.
Yes. Oh, I've attended Winterfest. I've attended Winterfest when there has been snow on the ground, and I've attended Winterfest when it's been 60 degrees outside.
Yeah, we've had a couple. That's one of those things that makes you lose sleep. Is our ice going to make it this year,
Yeah.
or is it going to be melted by the time the event's over?
As we record this in 2024, we had a good year for the actual sculptures,
Yes.
but not the event. Would you like to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, so it wasn't a great event for the people. It was great for the sculptures and the snow. We definitely had the winter weather. Unfortunately, it was so bitter cold and so bitter windy. I didn't really see anyone coming out to the event. We tried on Friday night, and the traffic was just so terrible that Friday night with the snow and the sleet and the slush, the mess that was in the street. So we ended up canceling first thing on Saturday morning because It was so bitter cold, and we couldn't even put the ice up. I was afraid the ice was going to blow over it, and that's a lot of work that those artists do. And with 50 sculptures going up on the streets of Perrysburg, I didn't want broken ice everywhere, and especially my sponsors. They put a lot of money and effort into what they wanted to be sculpted. So we canceled, and we did end up putting the sculptures up on Sunday night. And actually, Winterfest went on for like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
The sculptures were great this year, and they lasted, like you said, like at least 2 weeks.
For sure. It was actually, I think the longest since I've been in charge of doing things with the ice, the longest that the ice has stayed up. So I was excited.
It can be tough. Sometimes you get perfect everything, and sometimes you get one element that'll be fine. But I hope that Winterfest continues. What are the plans for 2025?
Well, 2025, we're still looking at seeing how we're going to be placing that. We had moved the location of the tent at the last minute this year in hopes that it would bring more people down. Last year, I'm sorry, in 2023, we had the tent in a parking lot there, behind, kind of across from Rosaria's, across the railroad tracks in the parking lot of what is called Perry's Landing. And had some last minute changes. And luckily, the city came through and let me shut down 2nd Street. And we put it up there right next to where Welch Publishing is. And with the weather, we had to put it up pretty much last minute. And with that wind, though, they had to take the tent down much later. And so with this coming year, we're still trying to figure out, is there a tent involved? Will the people come out for that? There's definitely going to be ice. You don't have to worry about that.
To learn more, you can always go to the website, which is downtownperrysburg.org, right?
Correct. Yes. All of our events are listed on our website. There's a tab at the top. And actually, we try to keep the most current event going on right on the top of the homepage there. We're still celebrating Winterfest right now because we've got the Battle of the Ice sculptures going on right now. We call Ice Madness. And basically, we have a bracket, a March Madness bracket going on for every ice sculpture that was part of the event so that you can have a little bit more time with those sculptures, but also support those organizations that supported us. You can go on our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and every day, Monday through Thursday right now, because we've come down to we're almost to the final 8, and you can vote on your favorite sculpture, and then the final winner will be announced on the finals, the NCAA finals, on April 8th. And they will win a free sculpture for next year. And of course, bragging rights.
Is this businesses that are allowed to vote, or are these the Perrysburg residents? It's a voting contest, right? Because the sculptures, as we record this in March, are not physically still present, right?
Right. It's definitely, I don't want to call it a popularity contest, but it's a popularity contest. If you have the right amount of followers or you have the coolest sculpture, I mean, people are going to vote for you. But we took lots of pictures during Winterfest. And so the pictures are up, and share them, like them. I love to see people post pictures of what they took during Winterfest, especially with the little kiddos' faces in there, or mom and dad, of course, and share them with everyone because we want to make sure that that ice lives on.
Good luck with wrapping up Winterfest. I understand that on the website you have many tabs. I see a home tab, an about tab, membership, events, Winterfest, volunteering, and contact information. I'd like to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about what Downtown Perrysburg Inc. is and all of these tabs on your website.
Sure, I appreciate that opportunity. DPI is a community based nonprofit. So we are a 501c3, and we are run by an organization of volunteers. So not only is my board a volunteer board, every event that we do is run by volunteers, and that's how we do everything. Our mission is to provide family and adult events through the community and contribute to the quality of life to make Perrysburg the best suburban downtown. And I think that through the last couple of years, even with COVID, we've tried our best to bring that to light and provide free events for people where we can. We do rely a lot on sponsorship to provide the main things that we need for those events. It's definitely the world's a little bit different after COVID. So things are a little more expensive. And with all the volunteers that we use and the organizations that have come together to support us, we've put on some successful events. I want to say that between the schools helping us out and then actual organizations, we've had over 200 volunteers each year. And I think that's something to brag about because it takes a community, it takes a village to put on some of these events, especially Winterfest. I have a race coming up in August. It will take a village. And I'm very lucky to have the connections that I do here in Perrysburg when they all want to help me. So I thank you all, and I hope you still want to play with me in the coming years.
Volunteers are important. Do you have enough volunteers? Are you always recruiting new ones? I mean, this is an opportunity for you to recruit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we always need volunteers. So, a thing about that is right before every event, usually a month or a couple weeks before the event, we will post something on our Facebook or Instagram account to sign up, usually a sign up genius. Or if you just, in the goodness of your heart, want to volunteer, you can always email me and say, hey, what's going on? Where do I fit in March, we have a breakfast going on. I had someone email me and say, I kind of want to help with the Easter bunny. And I said, well, I have an Easter bunny, but maybe you can help him later. So people just want to be involved, and we do sign service hours. I've done a lot of that for the community. Bowling Green State University provides us with some students for Winterfest. We use Perrysburg's cross country team. They come and help me, which, gosh, I love them. I'm so lucky that they still want to come help me because I could not have put that race on without their help. They just poof, picked up the things, went and did what, and I didn't even have to ask. I'm like, okay, that was easy. So volunteers, I mean, it doesn't have to be a hard thing if everybody just works together, right?
Volunteers are important for sure. My son, who the listeners would not know this, but he was leaving the house as Brittany was getting set up here. He actually volunteered with that with the Perrysburg High School cross country team. The what is it? Zip the Burg?
Zip the Burg, yes.
Yes.
I thought he looked familiar.
He grew a beard. So he's grown up. Yeah, he's on spring break from the University of Cincinnati.
Oh, well, maybe he wants to come and help me in August.
He might. He might. If he's around, he likes to keep busy.
Well, that's good. We can keep him busy.
All right. Well, it sounds like people can email you. I know on the Facebook page for Downtown Perrysburg Inc., there's the email address. Would you like to share it now?
Of course. You can always email us at downtownperrysburg@gmail.com. You can always message us on our Facebook page, which is Downtown Perrysburg Inc. And then we also have an Instagram account. And that one, I'm sorry, is Downtown Perrysburg. And the Facebook page actually keeps all of our events posted on it. But you can visit our website, and there's an events tab at the top. And not only do we put all of our Downtown Perrysburg events on there, there's actually a place on there where you can fill out a form and put your Perrysburg event on there. So I try to share everything that makes sense for Perrysburg. I'm getting some spam lately of things that are not local, so I try to keep it local. And it goes out right now as far as it goes through September almost. So we'll put the market days up there. It's not we don't have the final market day on here, but all of the different open houses and walks will be on there that the downtown businesses are putting on. Some of the businesses have their own special events. We like to put those on there. So we invite everyone to let everyone know because we want that to be a great place for people to go and know what's going on. Maybe we'll put a link to the podcast so they can always know what's going on.
Hey, thanks. That'd be great. Yeah. The Perrysburg podcast is new, but I should probably make a more of an effort to post things that have to do with events that are going on in downtown Perrysburg on the Downtown Perrysburg Inc. Facebook page. It's we're all connected, right?
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it takes a village, and we can all help each other out.
Absolutely. There are so many things that I want to follow up on that you mentioned. The first one is similar to the volunteering opportunities. I know you mentioned having a board. Would you like to give a shout out to who's on your board? And if you're looking for more board members, Go ahead and mention that now.
I appreciate that. Yes, as I said, I'm the current president. I need to give a shout out to Terry Miller. He is our past president, but he's been on the board for as long as I can remember, and he's been a great asset to our team. And our current vice president is Caroline Jablonski, and I have a treasurer right now. His name is Aaron Laird. And the current secretary, shout out to Katie Hatcher. And then we are always looking for more people to join the board. With it being a volunteer organization, the events all have a little bit of something that everyone can do. And you may not be good at, say, looking for sponsors, but you definitely know how to get on Facebook and talk to the people. You don't have to be good at everything to want to be involved in downtown Perrysburg. And we've got people from all different kinds of jobs and specialties. And some people I've talked to that are on our Winterfest committee, they just want something to fill their cup. I take that from my friend Amanda, who said that when I was trying to figure out where she fit in with our board and with our committees. And it doesn't have to be a full-born, everyday thing that to be involved with the board. We meet once a month, and it's just an hour, hour and a half. There are things we have to get done as a board and to stay a 501c3, but we all work together and everybody just kind of raises their hand and does what they can do. And there's a lot of text messages that happen throughout the month to get the things done. But I think we do a pretty good job for what we've done with a small but mighty little army we have.
Small but mighty. I think I heard 5 names:
Yeah.
you, Caroline, Aaron, Katie, and Terry as the past president, right?
Yes.
Small but mighty.
Yes, I've had quite a few board members just with the way that life is drop off. And I'd like to give a shout out to Trisha Dar with Maddie and Bella. She had been our past president for quite a few years. She'd been with the board for more than 10 years, as well as Brandy Baker Parcell. They both have stepped up whenever I needed them, even when they haven't been with the board. This past year, I've kind of leaned on them for some advice. And also Chelsea Palmer. She was our president last year and through COVID, and she kind of dealt with a few things. So we've gone through some transition and changes and trying to work with the times that we're dealing with. But there's some great people in our community that are always willing to step up. And even if they're not on the board, I appreciate them.
Well, I hope you recruit some great fits to add to your board.
Yeah, they can email our email downtownperrysburg@gmail.com. I can send them an application. They can send me the resume, or they can give us a call, of course.
Brittany, what's under the membership tab on downtownperrysburg.org?
So we, like I said, are a volunteer organization. So we rely on our membership and our sponsorship to help us support our events and put on those things that we want to keep free. If you would like to become a member, you can become a family member. It is $35, and that basically just is a little way to help support what we're doing and keep our events covered. There's insurance and other things that we have to have as an organization on top of those costs of whatever we're doing for our events. We do list all of our family member holders on our website. And then you can also become a business member or a patron member. And again, those are an opportunity to support a specific or all of the events that we do. And we also have plenty of opportunities for those businesses to host events that we are doing, or if we need to add something to help support those businesses, we do as well. And we have kind of taken a different form of what the membership has looked like over the years with COVID and everything. We haven't had the meetings and things that we'd like to have. And so basically, we're really looking for sponsorship, where those $35 for a family membership and $1,000 for a patron membership, that's honestly just a little piece of the pie. And so there's plenty of opportunities to be involved with larger amounts of money and organizations, and I will not turn you down.
I have never supported the Downtown Perrysburg Inc., but I feel like $35 is not too much to ask. And we go to your events. So I feel like I should intentionally give in 2024. Thank you for telling me about this.
Well, I appreciate that. And you don't have to wait till Giving Tuesday in November to do that. You can click right on our website, click join now, and I will get that money. You'll get a little welcome package. We usually put a list in the newspaper in November during the Thanksgiving month and thank all of our members for being part of our organization.
Very good. Well, I hope this gives you a bump in memberships and sponsorships. And yeah, thank you for the work that you do. This is an important organization. It helps make Perrysburg a great place to live.
Well, we appreciate being here and the opportunity to give everyone a great place to live because we believe it is too.
All right. There's more than one organization in Perrysburg. We've got the Chamber of Commerce. We've got the Visit Perrysburg organization. We've got the City of Perrysburg. We've got Perrysburg Township. We've got Historic Perrysburg Inc. We've got the downtown businesses that kind of do their own thing. How is Downtown Perrysburg Inc. different from all of those?
It's so hard with so much going on in Perrysburg, but that's what we love about it, right? The downtown businesses are, of course, the huge reason why everybody wants to come downtown, right? We've got Swigs, we've got Stella's, we've got the great different places to shop. But then you've got all the things that you want to do because not everybody can fit in every one of those little buildings, right? So, when downtown Perrysburg was born, it was because there was that lack of all these different things going on. But now we have all these organizations that are stepping up, where the chamber is definitely your business organization that has the meetings once a month and wants to help you promote your business. They do provide events. They provide homecoming with us downtown. They do support a lot that Visit Perrysburg provides. In fact, they're in the same office. But downtown Perrysburg is its own little thing over here. We do about 5 or 6 events a year. And where Visit Perrysburg is where you're going to get your market days, your music in the market. This year they're going to be doing an art fair in August. There's your parades will be with Visit Perrysburg. There's a lot that are going on that are put on by different organizations. And like I said, time and time again, we're a volunteer organization. So I can only do about 5 or 6 events a year just because what I do, it is for the community, and trying to keep community events separate from what maybe the downtown businesses do and keep it affordable, is what everybody wants to do, of course. But all these little organizations do come together. And in fact, we come together and we're going to create the Total Eclipse event for you in April here. Not on the eclipse, but on April 6th, that Saturday before. And I don't know that that's going to confuse everyone because I've been trying to differentiate us all, but we did come together to put on an event.
Collaboration's good, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, I guess that's my segue into the Total Eclipse event. But we have an event going on the Commodore Perry lawn, which is actually the Perrysburg High School admin building. They have that giant lawn, and I mean, we've had so many great events that go on there. So let's put another one, right?
Sure.
Visit Perrysburg's been working pretty hard on filling those hotels on that weekend because we're right in the line of totality. And with all the safety measures that are being put in place, the city, not to be confused with everything else we've been talking about, but the city has allowed us to put together an event that Saturday, that Saturday before, from 12 to 6. You're going to see a giant tent on the lawn, along with obstacle course, and we're going to have lots of inflatables and other things going on. We're going to have a band play at 4 o'clock. Not fast enough. If you haven't heard them, DPIs use them for some of their events. They are always a crowd pleaser. There'll be some food trucks. You can always bring your Dora drinks into the tent. There'll be lots of kids activities, including we're gonna have a little total eclipse. The kids can be their own eclipse in the tent. Nothing Bunt Cakes is going to be there. We've got a magician coming. Glovation's going to put on an event, or I'm sorry, on a show. And it's just going to be a day full of activities, not just for our community, but we want to show off what Perrysburg has to all the other people that are coming in to see this eclipse. So, hey, come in on Saturday. Don't come in on Monday because there's going to be crazy traffic. And come and hang out with us, see what downtown Perrysburg has to offer, and visit all of our different organizations that are down there as well. The library's got lots of things going on during the day, starting at 9 in the morning. And then I know at night, the downtown businesses, I'm not really going to say it's night because it's from like 6 to 9. There's going to be a glow walk. So you can visit the businesses, get your glow stick, take advantage of some of the restaurants that are down there. And hey, if you want to dress up, I mean, maybe you have your little alien costume you want to wear, something that's very theme related. We are inviting you down to do that.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like a great event. I heard about it from Downtown Perrysburg Inc.'s Facebook page. There's a really great event on there. If you are listening to this because you're planning to come to Perrysburg because it's in the area of totality, you're maybe going to rent a hotel room, stay overnight, come check that out. I see that it's from noon to 6, like you mentioned. All of the things that are going to happen are right there on the Facebook page, so check that out. You mentioned that you're collaborating. The city of Perrysburg, I'm sure, is going to help make this a safe event with the police support and all that good
Correct.
stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned the library, which is directly across the street from the Commodore Schoolyard where the tent will be located.
Mhm.
Who else are you collaborating with?
We've got, of course, Perrysburg Chambers helping us not only with volunteers, but help me keep everything organized. And then, of course, Visit Perrysburg's brainchild. They saw the opportunity and said we should take it and run. We've also got a couple of other organizations. Sun Federal Credit Union is a huge supporter of this event, and I'm super excited. Their Sunny guy is going to come and hang out. If you haven't seen Sunny, how can you not have an eclipse event and not have a giant sun there? I'm super excited about that. We've got another large supporter is Redline Fitness, and they are actually the ones in charge of my obstacle course that will be happening. And at the same area as the obstacle course, we're going to have a kids dash. So make sure you go online and get more information about that and register. And then I'm also can't forget that Air Amazing is out there supporting everything that we do. And of course, all the downtown businesses that are part of planning will be. I I can't name them all. There's so many.
I'll let you off the hook. I was just curious because when you talk about collaborating, I I think it's important for people listening to this who are thinking about possibly moving to Perrysburg need to understand that there's more than one organization that cares about Perrysburg and cares about putting on events for Perrysburg. This is a great place to live. We truly have a great community.
We do. We do. And we're so proud to show it off. So we definitely want everyone to come down. And even if you're just going to visit and check us out, there's always an event going on. You should start at the Downtown Perrysburg Facebook page to find out what's going on right away.
I have to check out that sun guy on the Facebook page because I'm actually going to be in Columbus that weekend.
Oh,
I'll be
no.
back for I'll be back for the eclipse itself, but I am a pharmacist by training and the annual meeting of the Ohio Pharmacists Association is going on that weekend. So for anybody who wants to catch pictures of the event cuz they can't make it,
Yeah.
what's the best way to get the scoop after the event?
Well, not only can you go on our Facebook page or our website, Visit Perrysburg has actually done an amazing job of posting everything about the eclipse. They have an events tab on their page, and it's actually connected to the Ohio State page with everything that has information about the eclipse. The Way Public Library has all kinds of information too, not only about the event, but the best times, the best places to look at the eclipse, safety glasses, where you can get those. There's all kinds of information about where you can go if the weather is going to be bad on Monday. Cross our fingers that there's not going to be any clouds and we can just stay right here at home. But there are other locations. Um, I do know that for safety's sake, they are saying to stay off the expressways if you can, because people are just going to be pulling over and going to where they can see big fields and see everything. So there's quite a few organizations that are putting information out, but I do recommend going to the Visit Perrysburg page for a link for all those different locations that are great and safe places to stay here in the area.
Safety is very important. You talked about the glasses.
Mhm.
My mom happened to drop off my safety glasses during this interview. We actually had to stop the interview so I could run out and grab them. I heard that there are fakes out there. Can you tell me a little bit about how to tell if you have the right kind of glasses?
Um, there are definitely some regulations out there. I would definitely make sure that you're getting it from, I wouldn't go online and just buy randoms. I know the library will be putting some out and we'll have some at the event. And there's actually different foundations that are posting that they're free or they're selling them. I know Churchill's is selling them right now at their registers while they still have them. Just make sure that they say that they are safe for direct viewing of the sun. The little kids are definitely not understanding this. So I know there's cards out there that are made for little faces. So it has the safety lenses that are much bigger for little faces. So just make sure that the kiddos are not looking directly at the sun.
Absolutely. I have a special needs individual in my life. I have a 21-year-old son who has autism, and I'm actually planning to use a piece of poster board. And I'm going to cut out little slits where the lenses are, and he'll just have a larger object to hold in front of his face because it can be kind of hard when you're intellectually challenged to hold something exactly where it needs to be. I'm creating some sort of like a safety layer for him, so to speak.
I like it.
If you like that idea, make one for your own family.
That's right.
Yeah, just passing along good ideas. Well, as we start to wrap this up, anything else that you want to share about the total eclipse of the Burg? Maybe talk about the hashtag that's out there?
Sure. Yeah, there's a hashtag, and you can definitely post your pictures of the event and tag us, tag Downtown Perrysburg Inc., or you can tag Visit Perrysburg and the Chamber as well. And I will have a complete list of everything that's going on up on our Facebook page and our website here shortly. If it's not up already, by the time this is posted, I'll have everything updated. But there is a lot going on the stage inside the event, so you'll want to check that out. And I know information will be also posted in the Way Public Library, and they have some cards that will have information not only about the event but the safety locations as well. And we're actually, everyone that's Visit Perrysburg is going to be providing all the hotel stays a goodie bag that has information about the event, the great places for safe staying, and things about Perrysburg because why not? It's Perrysburg. You got to know all the things.
Yeah, well, if you're here for the eclipse, then maybe you'll like to come back and visit and see our parks, maybe do some walleye fishing. There's all kinds of things in
There,
Perrysburg. There's quite a
yes.
variety. It's not just a great place to live, it's a great place to play too.
Lots of playing that can happen in Perrysburg.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, as we start to wrap this up, I know you mentioned that you have 5 big events that you do every year.
Mhm.
Did I hear you right? Would you like to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, we usually say Winterfest is our first of the year. And then it usually rolls into some kind of spring event. This year, our spring event just happened to fit with the eclipse. And then in the summertime, some people know us for doing First Fridays, which was a Friday night event where we brought the community together on the first Friday of June, July, and August. And with everything that's been going on, we kind of stepped away from that and thrown in different events. In August, we will this year, though, have a Zip the Burg family race. It's our 5th year, and you actually will run 4.3551 miles, or you can walk a mile, whatever you want to do. But it's great because the community comes out. We go through the historic neighborhoods, and people will have their sprinklers out, and they'll have their bands, and they dress up. It's so great to see the people come out and support all of the people that want to be athletic or not. It's usually like one of the hottest days of the year. And then we usually have some sort of after party somewhere in downtown. A lot of times it's happened to be down in the river by the yacht club. We haven't gotten that far, and so I'm not releasing that information yet. We will be involved in homecoming in September. That is in collaboration with the chamber. And then in October, you can look forward to some kind of what we call Octo Fest, some kind of Halloween activity for the kiddos. And that same evening, we will have a costume party for the adults. So it looks a little different every year, but that's kind of what we have planned this year. And you can definitely look forward to more information on our Facebook and web pages.
Great information, Brittany. Thank you so much for being here on the Perrysburg podcast. I hope you have a great rest of your year.
Thanks for having us. We're super excited, and hopefully, we can come back and tell you more things in the future.
I'd love to have you back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Brittinee Huntley for being my guest today on the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 36. We talked about Downtown Perrysburg Inc. and all the great events that they put on for Perrysburg, volunteer opportunities, sponsorship opportunities, the website, the Facebook and Instagram pages, the Total Eclipse of the Burg event on April 6th, and more. What a great interview. We covered a lot. Like I said during the interview, I'll be out of town for the Total Eclipse of the Burg event on April 6th, but I'll be back in town for the eclipse on April 8th. I really do want to see your pictures from the event, so I will be looking on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be searching for that hashtag TEOB so I can see all your pictures when I get back from Columbus. The Facebook page for Downtown Perrysburg Inc. shows that more than 2,000 people are interested in the Total Eclipse of the Burg event on April 6th. That's a lot of people. I know how big the Commodore Schoolyard lawn is, and I want to see what it looks like when it's jam packed with 2,000 people or more in it at the same time. Should be quite a sight. If you are listening to this after the Total Eclipse of the Burg event, you can see all the pictures and all the fun on Facebook and Instagram too. Again, look for the hashtag TEOB for Total Eclipse of the Burg. That does it for this episode. Thank you to Downtown Perrysburg Inc. and Brittinee Huntley for all you do for Perrysburg. And thanks again to Brittinee for being my guest today on the Perrysburg Podcast. To find the show notes for this episode, go to perrysburgpodcast.com and click on episode 36. In the show notes, you'll find information about Downtown Perrysburg Inc., the Total Eclipse of the Burg event, visit Perrysburg's website, Way Public Library's website, and more. If you know someone who might like to hear about Downtown Perrysburg Inc. or the Total Eclipse of the Burg event, please share this episode with them. And if you like this podcast, please subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg Podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Thank you for listening today. I'll talk to you next week.